Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick update while I have the house to myself and it's quiet. I've got Artemis here just hanging out with me. So I don't remember what date I did this last video, so I'm just gonna go from what I remember the last time I talked to you guys. Let's see what's happened. Let's see, I'm just gonna go with middle of last week, 2 weeks ago. So on Saturday the 12th, I had a friend's wedding. Girl I've known since she was 5, and a guy I went to high school with, they got married on the 12th. That was a gorgeous wedding, beautiful wedding. It was like a high school reunion, which wasn't very fun. I really didn't like a lot of people I went to high school with, so it was a little weird seeing everybody from high school. Then Saturday, or not Saturday, that was Saturday. Sunday the 13th, I had my early grad party. I graduated from college in December, and so my parents held a early grad party for me on the 13th. So it was really fun, got to see a lot of people. My sister, it was my sister and I's grad party actually, so she graduated last December from the same school I went to, and I graduate this December from that school. So we had a grad party together, got to see a lot of people. A friend of mine that I lived in Scotland with, I haven't seen him in 2 years, over 2 years now, and so it was really nice to finally see him again. He came up for it. Had a lot of family up, which was really cool. Yeah, that was pretty much my grad party, so that was super exciting. It was a little bittersweet because it was awesome that I could see everybody and I had a party, but I'm not graduated. So everyone's like, oh, how's it feel? And I'm like, not done yet, but great. Let's see, what else? Sorry, I keep petting my dog. On that night, my sister stayed over and we watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which was fantastic. It was super fun. I keep looking down, I'm looking at this or I'm looking at my dog. Because I love my dog and I'm not going to apologize. So let's see. Yeah, watched grad party that Sunday. I went to work that Monday. And Jonah went home. Sorry, I was just checking to see who was outside. And Jonah went home to go see his parents for a little while. Drove the car that I got into the accident with. He drove that down there. We bought it back from the insurance company, and he's going to fix the door, and so that we can drive it again. So we'll have another car, which would be nice to have that back because I really did like that car. And I'm not a car person, so I've never owned a car. I've had the same truck since I was 16. So I've never owned a car, never wanted a car, but I like that car. If I had to drive any car, that would probably be the one that I picked right now. It was an old Mazda 6. So that Monday, while he was gone, I started Mill Hills Scottish Santa. So came with everything: beads, floss, pattern, perforated paper, which I've never stitched on before. So that was interesting. I've never stitched on perforated paper before. Yes, hi. Sorry. So I started that on the 14th, and I actually finished that the next Monday, so the following Monday. So it took me about a week to get done, and here he is. So some of my beading here is not straight. My little beard is a little wonky. I have to get that one to lay down. Well, it doesn't want to lay down. There it goes. So his beard's a little wonky. I didn't do any of the, I did like this little bit of backstitch, and I was like, I don't like any of the backstitch, so I only did his leg wraps. because there was backstitch that was like going along the edge here. I don't know if you can see that very, very lightly. I couldn't tell the difference. It really didn't do much for me. I know there's supposed to be a little backstitch here, but I didn't really do it. Didn't really care. I looked at it, and this was kind of the only backstitch that really mattered to me. I mean, even when you look at the pattern, or the thing, it doesn't really look any different than mine. I'm going to cover my face. I mean, it doesn't really look any different. There's a little bit of backstitch outline, but nothing really that's going to throw anything off. I did do an oops. His boots are down one too far, so if you see, he's got this little black gap right there when it shouldn't have been there. This whole part down here, his feet and stuff, should have been up one higher. So all I did was I just pulled the blue down to match, or blue down so that it met with his legs, and that was all I did. Did the beading down here. I missed a spot or two of green, and I just filled it with a bead or went back and filled it in with green. I know I didn't cut it out perfectly. I don't really care. So that's the very messy back. I will just have to get my mom, felts. Makes little felt animals. Maybe I'll try and show you guys one of these times, because they're super cute. She sews little felt animals and that go along with books. So like my mom had a book that had a llama in it, and so she made a little mini felt stuffed llama, and it was so cute. They're super adorable. Excuse me. So that's what my mom's been doing for a while for one of her nephews. So she'll buy books and then make the animal to match it, and she'll really match it. I mean, she'll try and pick the colors as best she can. If it has, you're fine. If it has something, it has an accessory. What are you doing? What are you doing? If it has like an accessory or something like that, she'll make sure that she makes an accessory, a felt accessory to go with it. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, started and finished him. Ooh, easy girl. She just ran into my knee. If you want to go around, go up and around. Up here. Come on, up. Now go down. Or stay right there, whatever. She's just gonna hang out over there. Will you just chill? She doesn't know who I'm talking to. She's really confused right now. You're fine. So, Scottish Santa, done and done. So, that's that one. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put this where she's not gonna chew on it. Don't touch it. Okay, so then the next day, and I'm gonna show this. It's not completely finished yet, and I know I'm a little late because it's the 25th, and I was supposed to send it out last Friday. I'll probably send it a week late, but things have been insane with at my house and stuff like that. Just been super busy. So I do on Instagram. There is a cross stitch ATC, artist trading cards, that they do every month. So this month's theme was Disney, and I did a little Jafar head. I'm not really happy with the coverage of the black, but I'm not going to redo it. So I did a little heart that has like it looks like Jafar, but it's a heart. And it was an Etsy pattern, had a bunch of different villains with hearts on them, or villains in the shape of hearts. So, I mean, there was an Ursula, there was the Magic Man from The Princess and the Frog. I can't think of what his name is at the top of my head. There was Maleficent, all that kind of stuff. So I picked Jafar because he had the least amount of colors. So I'm just going to trim them up and cut them down a little bit, and then I have a piece of black. I have two pieces. I have a piece of black and a piece of red scrapbook paper that I'm going to back it with and make it about that same size. So that's that. I started that on the 15th, and I think I finished that on the 18th, so I finished it 2 days later. And I worked on the Santa that day. That was the August. In Stitch Mania, they have a color of the day, or color a day every month, based on the birthstones. So August was Peridot, which is a green, so I worked on the green in Santa on that day. Jonah came home the next day. The 17th was a new start. I didn't actually start it that day. I started it a couple days later, so I'll show you that when I get to it. On the 19th, we did up in a city up on the Iron Range in Minnesota, a city called Pewabic. There they do a mud run every year, and it's kind of like the Tough Mudder, if anyone's ever heard of that, but it's smaller. So it's a 5K rather than a 10K. It's a 5K with obstacles. You're running through the mud. The very last one is you run through electric wires, so you run through it and they zap you, and that sounds freaky, but it's not. It doesn't, I don't think it hurts. It tickled when I went through. My sister said it hurt, but she also really doesn't do, she couldn't, I knew she wouldn't like that part of it. I don't mind it. I mean, I wouldn't go through it all the time, but I think it tickles. So, you're propped up on the window in my bedroom, and she is up on the window staring out at it, trying to figure out what's going on. Anyway, so we did that one because I did the Tough Mudder 2 years ago, and my little sister really, really wanted to do it, but you have to be 16 in order to do that. So she has a couple more years before she's able to do the Tough Mudder. So we decided to do the, it's called the Rampage at the Ridge. So it's at Giants Ridge up in Pewabic. And they set up a whole course for it. So we did that. That was super fun. I'm really bruised. I mean, that's a teeny tiny one. All my legs are completely bruised. I have a giant bruise on my hip. But it was super fun. It was super, super fun. If I can get pictures, I will put a picture or two here at the end of this. But it was super fun. My mom and my dad did it. One of my brothers who did it. My brothers did it. My little sister, my youngest sister did it, and Jonah did it with me. So it was super fun. We later went and got Vice Pizza, which is a bar pizza place in Pewabic that Jonah's family owns. So that was pretty cool to go there and get pizza. It was really good, and now I'm craving pizza. Okay, gotta get this done so I can eat. And then we went down that weekend. Jonah and my little sister and I went down to his family's cabin to celebrate his brother's birthday, which was actually the week prior, but we finally did a big family birthday dinner. Hold on, I'm gonna let her out. Hold on a second. Really? Really? You have to go out? You gonna? Alright, and excuse the mess behind me. I got home from work and decided I wanted to get this done before anyone is at home, and there's something on the screen that keeps showing up on my forehead when I look at it. And I know I'm looking down here and the camera's up there, but you'll deal with it. And she's back. So we went down to his family's cabin and stayed down there for the weekend. I took Monday off and we stayed down there. And that Monday night, I started a present for my sister, and I can't put it on Instagram because she looks at my Instagram. So I have an Instagram that's solely for my cross stitch. I have one that's just my other stuff, which I really don't go on anymore. But I have one that's solely for my cross stitch, and I can't, and she follows that one, so I can't put up pictures of this because she'll see it and it's a gift for her. So I'm doing, here, and I'll pull this sticker off so I can see what the fabric is. Put my fabric sticker in there. Okay, so this is, I'm doing this. It's from Country Cottage Needleworks. It's called Afternoon in Paris. It's a really teeny tiny picture, but you get the idea. Ignore the fact that I have painter's tape around the edge of this. This is not a serged piece of fabric, and I was way too lazy to go and deal with that, and I was getting sick of it fringing, so I have painter's tape around it. So I have, I don't know how this is gonna work. So I have I can't do this either. So I have this part, this green one. So there's a green one here, and then there's a green one over here. I had this whole green one done, and I started doing this line that goes all the way across it. And I realized that I had this other one on the other side, I had it one stitch too high. So I had to rip that whole thing out and move it back down. And the reason I did that is because I had this S, I had that one up one stitch too high, and that's where I based the rest of the green coming off of it on. So I had to rip all that out in the S, and I redid the S, but I didn't want to redo the green yet. And the reason I redid the S is because that color, let's get close, that color, which is like a brown, I think it's DMC 839, it's supposed to be, so it calls for like Classic Colorworks, Sampler Threads, and Weeks Dye Works. I was too lazy, so I just bought all the DMC. I was too lazy, but this middle piece, this Paris part, is in here everywhere. It's the Paris part, it's the Eiffel Tower, it's the chairs, it's the lamp posts, it's the bike tires, but it's brown. And I started stitching, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do what they tell me to. So I started stitching, and I went over here, and I started doing the bike. So I put the pink in, and then I started putting the brown in. And I was like, these are brown tires, and it's going to be a brown light pole, and it's going to be a brown Eiffel Tower. No. So I ripped it all out, and then I put black in for the tires, black for the light posts, and the Eiffel Tower will be black with gray. Because right now what it is on this is it's dark brown. You can't see, but it's dark brown and light brown. It's like this light, that light brown, and then the dark brown of Paris. And I didn't like that. So I ripped it all out, and I'm going to do it in black. So the light posts will be black, the Eiffel Tower will be black, and the table chairs will be black. So I'm kind of altering this a little bit, but those are the colors. I think they're pretty. They're a lot duller than I thought they were going to be. Just kind of looking at this, it looks so bright, but it's because of that big bright blue block and a little bit of pink. That's why it looks so bright. Everything else in here are very dull colors, but it's just that huge thing of blue that makes it look so bright. And this is stitched on 28 count Joblin in Summer Sky. I'm assuming it was hand dyed by Stitchville down in Minnetonka, Minnesota, that I got it at, just because of the fact that there's no other, it's not Picture This Plus, it's not Weeks, it's not, I don't know what it is. So let's see if I can get up closer and get, that's kind of, it looks really, really white until you put some blue on it, and then it starts looking a lot bluer, but otherwise it looks fairly white. So I mean, that's actually not super bad, but so that's that. But like I said, this one, there will be no updates on Instagram because of the fact that my sister follows it, and I can't show it to her. So if anybody has watched my videos, you'll know that I started stitching the Harry Potter, or the Hogwarts crest for her for Christmas. That's not going to get done by Christmas. I haven't worked on that thing in months, and I don't want to work on it. So I decided that I should pick out something that I know I can get done before then, which this I know I can get done. I will be able to stitch up fairly quickly if I don't keep changing colors. So I'm going to stitch this up for her for Christmas, give this to her, and try and get Hogwarts done by next Christmas. Just because it's not going to happen. I don't want to work on it. I don't care. I want to get this done instead. So that one's not going to happen this Christmas. So yeah, I started that. The other things that I worked on, so I have one other thing that I worked on, and then I have some haul to show you. So, oh wait, I'll show you this, and then I have one more thing of haul. Okay, so I'm doing the Gingham Dog and the Calico Cat by Carriage House Samplings. So that's what it's charted to look like. That is not what it's going to look like. I'm actually getting really close to being done. I just have the frame left, the two pieces that I'm redesigning, and a couple of the, I guess, I don't know if they're acorns, whatever they are in the tree. So this is stitched on 40 count Newcastle. Sorry, it says New Sea and I didn't think of what that meant. 40 count Newcastle in Winter Moon. So this is what it looks like. So as you can see, it's very different. The dog is stitched in the red that the birds are. I pulled in a blue for the calico cat. All the words are done. The table is now brown instead of red. I'm going closer. Oh, I have to fill in the rest of the leaves too. I have to finish the rest of the red on the little acorns. All the birds are done. So yeah, it's acorns, fill in the leaves, redesign those two pieces, and then do the frame. So go in close and we'll do a slow pan. This is actually showing up pretty true to color, which is kind of nice. So that's that one. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I got to show that to Debbie. Sorry, it sounds like someone's kind of in my house. I got to show that one to Debbie. She helped me pick out the colors for that, so I got to show that to her last weekend, which is kind of cool to see, to show it to her and show her how it's been coming along. I've already seen that. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, hold on. So I ordered from 123 Stitch, and I will, lots of floss. I'm just gonna stick that back in the bag. That is all for, and I'll pull it out of the bag because I want to show you the fabric I got for it too. So I got that from 123 Stitch, and I got the colors for Turquoise Graphics and Designs, Nutty Parade, and everything on this chart is in DMC. I mean, look at this. That's all of the floss. I was watching somebody else's video from a while back that they did. I can't remember who it was. And she stitched this, and she goes, beware, anyone who decides to stitch this. There is not a single color in these nutcrackers that is repeated. This blue in here is nowhere else. The only thing that's repeated is the skin and black. So, I mean, the greens in any of them, the reds, the pinks, anything in them, it's not repeated anywhere else. So this blue is only in him. This yellow is only in him. All the shades of gold are different. All the shades of green are different. All the shades of blue are different. Everything is different. So that's why there's, I mean, that's not even all of it. That was just the pack. That was just the ones that I didn't have, because I have the rest of them in my stash. And then for that, I got a piece of 28 count Ale Cashel. From Picture This Plus? Yes, this is from Picture This Plus. So, and I mean, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit richer than that. It's showing up pretty pale. Yeah, that's showing up pretty pale. I mean, you guys know what ale looks like though. So, I picked that. I think this one's stitched on natural linen, but I didn't want natural linen. I wanted... Hold on, my phone's ringing. I'm back. I was talking to my mom. Apparently I'm gonna get a Snuggie. I had to send out thank yous for my grad party, and she's like, you're getting them out tomorrow, or I'm gonna give you a Snuggie. I'm like, a Snuggie is not the right word, Mom, but good effort. So we're gonna go get coffee tomorrow after I'm done with work. It's been a little while since we've got coffee together and just talked and stuff like that, so yeah. Okay, so I have a couple more things of haul to show you. This I have to see if my piece of Ada that I got, you guys know that I'm stitching that Doctor Who quote on. excuse me, or the Doctor Who piece on. I want to see if this will fit on there. I think it will. But this isn't. So this is called Rainy Kiss by Paula's Patterns. So this shows for 14 count. I'll do it in a smaller count. It'll probably be more like 18 count Ada or something like that. Or it could be really small and be the 22 count Ada that I have. Sorry, I was on the phone and I was picking at my face. My acne is breaking out. So this is Rainy Kiss. It's not going to be that pixelated, I hope. The actual picture is a lot better. But I don't have any of the fabric for that one, but I got that. This one's just going to stay in there. I just wanted to pull the fabric. This is Ursula Michael Designs, number 193, The Family Tree. It says, our family quilt grows more precious with every union, every birth, and every joyous occasion. So it's got flowers in these little squares, and then each family, it's like, it's a family tree. So it looks like parents, children, spouse, something. I don't know what the order is. I'll have to look at it. We place the parents' names on the second line. Mother is on the left. Okay, so mom, dad, her parents, his parents, brothers and sisters around the circle. So brother, or brother, sister or something, parents, and then so siblings around this way, and their parents above that. Or kids or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that's that one. And then I got a piece of 28 count, although the serging kind of stayed on there. 28 count white cashel. As of right now, that's the plan, to put this on there, but I don't know how soon I'm going to stitch this up. I'm thinking about doing it for my grandma. So that'll be either stitched up really soon, or that'll be stitched up in a very long time and this fabric will go somewhere else. Get all the strings in the bag. Okay, so that's that one. I'll show you this one first, and then I'll go to the last one because I have something to say about that one. I got this piece. Everyone knows this piece. It's Elizabeth's Needlework. Here There Be Monsters, Antique Celtic Sampler. I love this piece. I've seen a lot of people stitch it. I love it. And I got a piece of 32 count Ren Belfast for that. That's actually fairly close. That's actually not a bad color on there. So, got that, you get that. Dun, dun, dun. Actually, what's on the back of this? Nope, I don't like any of the other ones. I just like this one. In the bag. So, Here There Be Monsters. That's what everyone's been calling it. That's not the actual name, but that's what everyone calls it. And this last one. So, Emily C., Eclectic Possessions, I can never say her name properly. She and Lori from Mischievous Stitches, or Stitcher, just Mischievous Stitches, I don't remember, are stitching this come September 1st, and they've created a stitch along. And so it is Theron Traditions, Needles and Pins, Wedding Sampler, and it reads, needles and pins, when a man marries, his troubles begin, needles and pins. And it's Catherine Cook, Theron, and Martin John Parks, 10/8/1983 by Lynn O'Neill, 1992. So I think it's beautiful. I'm going to change the verse though, and I'm going to change it to say his blessings begin. I don't like the troubles part of it. I'm sure Joan will probably won't appreciate that either. And I'm going to do that on a piece of 36 count Legacy. So that's really pretty. I love the modeling on it. It's a lot of modeling for a sampler, but I'm okay with it. There's a couple specialty stitches in there, so that'll be interesting. I've never done specialty stitches before. So that's all I've worked on. I haven't worked on any of my other whips. I should probably pull some of them out. Haven't really been wanting to. I have to get that ATC sent out tomorrow. I keep hearing doors slam outside my house, sorry. I want to work on some of my other pieces, but I just kind of haven't been in the mood to. I've just been really busy with work. I've just been really busy. I come home and I'm just dead, and I just want to stitch something that's already started and that's easy and simple, and I don't really care. Which none of my pieces are really easy and simple, I guess. I mean, the easiest thing I could do right now is maybe the shotgun shell box, because it's 2 colors and I literally am just filling in right now. Or it's 3 colors and I'm just filling in. And I actually, in here, somewhere, where are you? Nope, that's not you. Haha! 611. Number 611. The only color I didn't own. And Michael's didn't have it. Joann's didn't have it. Walmart didn't have it. Nowhere had this stinking color. So I finally got it. Ordered out for 1, 2, 3 stitch. Finally got it. So I have to get this up for September 1st, which is in like a week. Let's see. How many colors do we have going on here? Oh, that's not bad. The one thing to note about this, though, there is one color in here that's no longer continued. I don't remember what number it is. I think it's 7 something, I think. And they made a new color for it. If you're curious of what that is, let me know. So there's 39 colors in this. So, and I'm sure it looks like I have a lot of these. Just looking off the top of my head, it looks like I have a lot of those. So that'll be really easy to kit up. Or I might just pull from my boxes as I go. I like kitting them up, but at the same time, I like kitting it up, like for right now, like I have my Paris one kitted up because I'm working on that one exclusively. Or I have my Gingham Dog and Calico Cat because those are all specialty threads and they're only in that piece right now. I haven't put them anywhere else. I haven't tried to pull them out and move them anywhere else. So they're only in that piece. Or I have like 2 pieces, or the blue and the yellow pulled out for the shotgun shell box because they're not in any of my other pieces right now. They'll be in the Nutcracker piece when that gets going, but it's not there right now. Today technically is my my created stitchy day thing. Every 4th Thursday in the month is going to be my Turkey Thursday, which is pretty much anything Thanksgiving or fall. I might see if I have something in any of my patterns that I could quickly pull out and start. Otherwise, I might just not start anything. Or I might pick something and say, okay, well, this is a fall color, or here's a brown that would be a turkey color or something. I don't know. I'm going to look through my patterns and see what I got. Kind of been trying to clean the house and stuff like that. The house is kind of a mess. We got stuff that's going on this weekend. One of the Packers games is on this weekend. I think we're still in preseason though. I would know if we're in regular season. So we're going out to my uncle's house to go watch the game. The state fair starts this weekend. We're debating if we're going to go down to that. Next weekend is the rodeos in town. So that's Labor Day weekend. So the rodeo's in town, where there's a festival out in Port Wing, which is kind of over by Bayfield, Wisconsin, which is where a lot of my family is around. We're around this general area, but it's a Finnish festival. It's called the Fish Boil. So it's essentially exactly what the name is. It's fish boiled. So we go out there and we get lots of fish, lots of food, lots of beer. There's keep hearing people. Yeah, lots of beer, lots of fish. It's kind of got farmer's market feel. People have different shops and tents and shops and stuff that they put up. On the Sunday, there's a parade and stuff for the kids. It's really fun. I go to it every year. It's a blast. It's an absolute blast. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but it's super fun. Maybe while we're there, I can get a couple clips or pictures and stuff like that and show you guys what it's like. It's super fun. We have two main big festivals out there. There's the Fish Boil, and there's, now don't judge us all, the Testicle Festival. I'll give you a second to guess what it is happens at the Testicle Festival. We eat bull balls. Cow, male, cow, balls. That's what we do. Oh my god, I sound crazy. So, that's the Testicle Festival. They both happen every year. The Fish Boil is the one I go to. I went to the Testicle Festival once. So, I mean, Colorado oysters, Rocky Mountain oysters, whatever they're called. That's what the festival is. It's all about that. It's all about Rocky Mountain oysters. So yeah, it's interesting. You guys all probably think I'm crazy. I'm curious if does anybody else have really, really random festivals or things that you guys celebrate in your towns? I'd have to say that's probably the most crazy one that we have up here. Out in Bayfield, though, they have Apple Festival, Blueberry Festival, all throughout the year. So there will be an Apple Festival in the fall here, which would be really fun. I love going out to that. There's just apple everything. Apple jam, candy apples, which kind of sucks because I can't eat fruit. But it's fun anyway. Actually, if you give me a half a second, I could throw my 20 things tag at the end of this, because I think I know where my paper is. Hold on a second. Nope, I must have got rid of it. I'll have to do it another day. But yeah, that's a random little tidbit about me. I'm allergic to raw fruits and vegetables. I can't eat fruits or vegetables. Most fruits or vegetables raw. There's a couple I can still have, like I can eat watermelon and grapes, pineapple, kiwi. For fruits, that's what all I can eat. Broccoli, lettuce, tomatoes, which I don't like. I mean, I'm just thinking of common things that I eat. Cucumber, kale. Yeah. My body can't break down the protein properly, so I have to eat it cooked or processed. So if it's like in a can, or fresh fruit out of a can, I can eat, or anything cooked, I can eat it that way. And then I'm allergic to almonds, almond everything, so almond extract, almond flour, almonds, almond bark, which is kind of like chocolate, things like that I can't do. Yeah, but I'm having a lot of fun at work. I've been watching Flosstube, so I've been watching Darling Bluebell. I love Mika, if you're watching. I love how you came up with your name. That makes me so happy. You should go watch a video, one of her videos, I don't remember which one it is. You should just go watch all of them. But in one of the videos, she explains how she came up with her name, and it's a fantastic story. I've been back watching all of Emily C. Eclectic Possessions. I've been back watching a lot of hers. I watched back watched some of the Stadrista. I'm kind of going through and just back watching a lot of people, getting lots and lots of patterns that I really don't need, or making a wish list. So I have a list going at work right now of all the patterns that I want. Just take a second, guess how many are on there. 300. At least 300. I don't know the exact number, but it's at least 300. And that's not even including anything from Etsy, anything from Heaven Earth Designs, anything from Artisy, anything from Gecko Rouge. Right now, it's pretty much anything that I found on 123 Stitch, because I've been going through there, things that I found from people on Flosstube, watching videos that I've been writing down and then adding to my wish list. Yeah. I'm never going to stitch all of them, but I like doing it. I like writing them all down and going, ooh, I want that. And actually, there's two that I really, really want. If I can find the pictures of them, I'll put them in. They're by Carriage House Samplings, I believe. They're called Frederick and Frederica. So, when I was little, my mom used to, you guys know the saying, Ready Freddy? So, when we were little, my mom used to say Ready Freddy to my older brother. It was just me and my brother growing up with her. And so she would say Ready Freddy, and I was Frederica. So it was Ready Freddy, Ready Frederica. So I got a super big kick out of when I was watching Flosstube and I was kind of scrolling through 123 Stitch and I found Frederica. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. It's just a bird with some flowers and stuff like that on there, so it didn't mean anything. And then I scrolled down a little farther and they had a companion piece named Frederick. So I'm debating stitching the both of those side by side and writing Freddy and Frederica underneath them and giving it to my mom, because that's hilarious that Frederica is the name of a pattern and that there's a companion piece named Frederick. And I would write Freddy underneath because that's what it was. It was Ready Freddy, Ready Frederica. And it just made me happy. So, we're at 41 minutes. I can't think of what else I want to say. I want to go get some food, and I'm gonna stitch because there's no one here, and I might throw out Flosstube maybe downstairs on the TV while no one's here. No one has to listen to it. Sorry, I'm super tired, and I really haven't eaten much today, so I'm kind of loopy. I called Jonah today. He was on his way to work, and he works at a restaurant up in the city next to us, in Duluth, and they have really good margaritas. I'm not a margarita person, and I went there, and my friend, when I went there together, and she got a margarita, and it was a blended passion fruit something or other, and she's like, oh, this is really good. I'm like, oh, I don't like margaritas. She's just try it. So I tried it. Oh my god, that is delicious. So he called me today and he's like, hey, I'm on my way to work. And it's like, so what are the chances you can get a margarita to go on your way home? And he's like, what? I was like, I want a margarita at home, but I don't want to drink it at the restaurant. I want it at home, and I want that one, and no idea how to make it. Granted, he could probably figure it out for me because he works there, but I'm like, so can you get a margarita to go? He laughed at me for a little bit, and he goes, I'll see what I can do. So if he comes home with one, I'm going to be stoked, but I doubt that's going to happen, so I might go steal a glass of wine out of the bottle we have downstairs. I think that might happen. Might go get a glass of wine, throw some Flosstube on, eat something. Then I got ice cream, or I got frozen yogurt. I got frozen yogurt yesterday, and I haven't opened it yet. We went to the store yesterday, and we walked in, and I saw ice cream, and I was like, done. I'm getting ice cream tonight. And I ended up leaving with, like, blackberry swirl frozen yogurt, and it's delicious, and I love it, and I'm definitely going to eat some. So, I will try to throw in all the pictures that I said I was going to throw in, see if I can find some butter pictures, see if I can find those two patterns to show you. I don't know if you heard that siren go by. Ambulance. Yeah, that was an ambulance. You guys know that there's a difference between them? Everybody knows that. There's a difference between the different sirens, a cop car, a cop car, a fire, that was a fire truck and an ambulance. There's different sirens for each one. And I've learned, obviously, the difference between all of them. So that was an ambulance and a fire truck, and there's bound to be a cop car at some point, one of these times to go by. Anyway, so I'm gonna go. I keep doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going crazy, that's what I'm doing. So I have, hide that because I have an address on it. I have all of this stack right here. This is all thank yous I have to write. I told my mom they were done. They're not done. It's been a week. I don't want to do them. I might do them tomorrow, since I only have a half day tomorrow. I have a half day and then I'll go see my mom and then I will write them all tomorrow night. Because I want to stitch right now. I don't want to write thank yous. So I'm going to write them all tomorrow night and I'll send them out on Saturday. So. Oh, you guys want to see my ring? I got comments on this today, so. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the ring. Probably not. Okay, so this is made out of heather, which is not a person. I got it when I was in Scotland at the Isle of Skye, which looks like this. Sorry, that was really weird. And it's made out of heather, which looks like this. So, yeah, I got it when I was up there. I thought it was gorgeous. So mine is, I don't know if you guys, it's not gonna focus. It's green and brown. It's got this big stripe of green down the middle, which I love. And it's just one of the cheap metals that, you know, tarnishes and turns pink when you wear it. Turns your finger green. It's starting to turn green. But I love this ring. It's my Scotland ring. So, okay, it's been 46 minutes. It's been almost an hour. I'm gonna go see if I can find a pattern maybe for fall. If not, though, I'm going to go back and probably stitch on Paris and try and get that one done. And hopefully my sister never sees this video before Christmas. We're hoping. If not, Coral, pretend you're surprised. So, dog has joined me again, and I'm gonna go. See you guys.